Business opportunity presentations. We have our next innovative project on the Startup Pitch Desk is by Ms. Ilyana Steibel, CEO of Curum, a great solution to support SMEs with the fundraising process through their private deal room for startups and invite investors from their network. Once again, I'd like to invite Ms. Ilyana right up to the desk, and here she comes now. Give her a nice round of applause. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and good afternoon. So my name is Uljana. I am a former executive director of the Warsaw Stock Exchange office in Ukraine. I'm originally Ukrainian. We moved to London in 2018 with my business, and we actually solving a problem of infrastructure for startups and scale-ups. And today we actually talk a lot about the opportunities, about how important is new innovative ideas, talents. But unfortunately, still more than 90% of the startups and even growing businesses, they fail. And according to the latest statistics, actually, about 50% fail because of the lack of funding. So it is actually leading to the conclusions that there is still a problem with the infrastructure for raising capital and approaching investors, and actually probably because investors don't have enough information about these businesses. In my experience, and as I mentioned, this is capital markets and investment banking experience, so I see like hundreds of startups actually communicating really bad with the investors. And the biggest problem is that companies do not communicate what is really important and what investors want to hear, right? So unusual startup would spend about like a year at least learning just to what investors want to hear and what investors actually want to achieve and see in the business. So we created a solution for private companies to follow the automated workflow and actually to raise capital 4 times faster, covering companies with legal solution for completion of their deal with investors, and covering investors with reporting and all necessary stuff for actually communicating with investors afterward. So, so we are providing the all-in-one powerful platform for companies from funding to secondary liquidity. And please, next slide. So as I mentioned, like private company would utilize on usual basis about like 5 to 7 different tools to manage their investment process. So we combine it all in one place so that the companies would not be lost between different type of solutions and actually would have their process much more organized. So so Curum solution is all-in-one platform where companies can digitalize the investment process. It is essentially the deal room where companies invite the investors and they maintain the communication. The very important part that, for example, companies do not send investor updates to investors, and I'm not saying about investor updates which comes afterward, like when you already managed to get investors on board and then you want to inform them about how the company is doing. But actually, to build a relationship with investors, you need to start sending monthly investor updates like prior to your funding round. You are building relationship with your, especially VC funds, because they're all relationship driven, and that's why like they always be considered as a closed club. But it's not because they do not accept external innovations. It's because they want to see a dynamic into your business, and we provide the tools to communicate properly and show the dynamic in your business. So the next one, so the platform, of course, provides the solution for fundraising management. And you see over here, it's actually the list of all the features which are necessary to complete your funding round. So it's from building your investor pipeline. Actually, we do have a solution for recommending additional contacts based on a good matches in the industry stage and the size of the investment. Then it's also a solution for tracking who have been viewing the pitch deck of the company. It's important because you also want to maintain the security of, for your ideas. It's of course that ideas, it's all about implementation, but you still want to keep track who have been visiting and who has seen your presentation, so you can follow up later. I already mentioned about the investor updates, and we also do visualization of matrices, secure data room where you go through the diligence process with investors, legal templates, and e-signature solution for signing documents with investors, and of course the seamless issuance of share certificates to investors, because the next solution of our platform is exactly the cap table management software. And in a simple words, because I don't know how many of you actually know what a cap table is, it's a capitalization table, essentially the list of your shareholders in a company. And in a venture world, it's not just shareholders, it's also the owners of the convertible notes, safe agreements, advanced subscription agreements, so all of these instruments which startups use to sign new investors and then later convert them into shareholders. So basically our solution is a legal tech solution which helps to convert properly, following the compliance, convert these investors into shareholders when the conditions are met. So so we move next to the next slide. So why we did it? We actually did it because we saw a problem that all of these fragmented solutions, they are actually quite expensive. And you kind of pay there for storing documents, you pay there for sending pitch decks, and all of them are charging you here 100, here 100, on a monthly basis. So we decided, okay, this is not the way how a startup world should work. It should be much more affordable for companies to have everything in one place and follow one seamless procedure. So pricing is very democratic. So and we can discuss it later. But basically, it starts from £9 per month to utilize a subscription, and then there is also a fee which is in the end of the funding round when illegal documents are signed. So next one. So we work with accelerators. We work with different type of partners like corporate finance firms who help you from different angles, but they want to provide this kind of support to their clients. So, and we do have also the so-called the perks marketplace. So basically, the access to a list of different discounts from our partners. And the next one. Now we are really close, I believe, to the launch. So just come to our website, and of course, let's talk now. So we can discuss either partnership or we can discuss actually how we can help you. If you are a company, so we can help you with the fundraising, and if you are investors, so we definitely can automate the portfolio reporting and also let you access new growing opportunities much faster. So let's have a conversation. Thank you.